Ja, are you there? Okay. We met this car at the border of Tulungagung and Kediri. You don't need this one. Very similar. Delete. Then you can say, you can explain more. Because we went very slowly, the white car behind us overtook. So because we went very slowly, comma. So instead of then, you can explain more. Okay. Because we went very slowly. Yeah, we went. Because we went very slowly, comma, the white car behind us overtook us. Rere, are you there?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Comma, yeah, because we went very slowly, comma, the white car behind us overtook. This one, okay. The white car behind us overtook, full stop. This is double space, by the way. Okay. You don't need this. We know that you, in front of you there was the old car because you already mentioned it here. Okay. We also followed the white car by overtaking the old car. Then when we overtook it, comma, when we overtook, comma, it turned out that my mom and I saw that the car had no driver. It looked very clear in my eyes. The windshield, full stop. The windshield of the car was transparent. That's a new sentence. This is double space. You need to delete one. The old car suddenly disappeared after we had crashed. You crashed? Nabrak sesuatu? What do you want to say? The old car suddenly disappeared after? We were all really dumbfounded. This is double space. So what do you want to say, Cha?
Melewati.
Ah, the old car suddenly disappeared after we overtook it. Just use overtook. By the way, this one needs an object, so you can say the white car behind us. Because we went very slowly, the white car behind us overtook us. So this one too, the old car suddenly disappeared after we overtook it. For a few feet. If you still want to use a few feet, add 4. The old car suddenly disappeared after we had overtaken it for a few feet. We were all really dumbfounded. That's it. That's it for you, Cha. Feel free to stay if you want to. Feel free to leave if you want to. Up to you. Okay. Back to
Thank
Rere.
you, Miss.
You're welcome. The cafeteria, and at that time I was in charge of checking. When I was going around, comma. This is a time signal. Then you need to put a comma before the subject. When I was going around, comma, I walked together with one of the juniors. Remember, one of, it means that the next part should be plural, one of the juniors, and he stopped at the cafeteria post. You may want to use two sentences for this. When I was going around, I walked together with one of the juniors, full stop. And then you can use this one, Ray, time order, transitions. Suddenly, it was, what time was it? Midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m.? Explain. Don't use and then. That was at 1 a.m. and he stopped at the cafeteria, something, to make people understand how scary it was. It was 1 a.m. Okay. That was at, it was, okay. It was at 1 a.m., comma, and he stopped at the cafeteria. It was at 1 a.m. Okay. Delete the space. You don't need the space. It was at 1 a.m. and he stopped. Why do we need a comma when it's only two sentences? Because the first sentence is using it as the subject and the second sentence is using he as the subject. So when you have two sentences using different subjects, please use comma before and or but. Okay. It was at 1 a.m. and he stopped at the cafeteria post by acting strangely. Full stop. Oh, okay. Hang on. By acting strangely, which was, don't use that is, which was. Okay, which was. And he stopped at the cafeteria post by acting strangely, which was just standing. Which was, which. Okay, this is one of the events that I find scary when I stay up late. It was the release day of a survival horror game called Resident Evil Village. I was tense. I had not played the game yet, but I had seen someone played it. When I finished watching the game, it was already too. I had seen someone. When I finished watching the game, it was already. Don't change. Oh, sorry. I thought I was given the. Why did you change it, Vidya? Play. When I finished watching the game, it was already. When I finished watching the game, comma, it was already 2 a.m. I. Past tense. past tense. Break, space, by acting strangely, space, which was just standing. Oh, this one, space. Okay. But I continued walking to the ceremonial field. In the ceremonial field, comma, in the ceremonial field, comma, I sat on the podium with other seniors. Too many but. You already used but. Delete this one. I continued walking to the ceremonial field. In the ceremonial field, I sat on the podium with other seniors, comma, but it had been 30 minutes and the junior did not show up. And that junior didn't. Only one junior, right? Why is my camera off? By the way. Okay. And that junior, was it more than one junior? Okay, only one, right? And that junior did not show up. As I've said, try not to use contractions. Did not show up. No contraction, Ray. Contraction. Did not show up. You are still using contraction. Okay, I was hungry and I wanted to go make noodles. However, just as I was leaving my room, I heard an odd sound from the kitchen. I heard a glass fall and some weird things. Oh, why do you have to make two sentences if it's the same fall? I heard a glass and some weird things fall. Or I heard a glass and some weird things falling. That's it. I heard a glass and some weird things falling. Because this is it might have not been one of my family. Oh, yeah, wait. There's no way. You said there's no way. So you were sure about it. It must not have been. It must not have been one of my family members because there was past tense. No way any of my family members were still awake. As far as I knew, past tense, they were all asleep, past tense. And that junior did not show up. Show, right? Show up at the field.
I think
At that time, comma, I panicked and went straight to the canteen post. But after I asked my friends who guarded the canteen post, this should be two sentences. At that time, I panicked and went straight to the canteen post. Full stop. But after I asked my friends who guarded, past tense, the canteen post, comma, they said no one passed. This is one sentence. But after I asked my friends who guarded the canteen post, comma, they said no one passed 30 minutes ago. And yes, at that time, capitalized. And yes, comma, at that time, comma, My whole body, huh? Your whole body was, your whole body cannot be scared. Scared is a feeling, not your body. My whole body was trembling. My whole body had goosebumps. My whole body, whatever, felt cold, but your whole body cannot be scared. I felt very scared, and until morning came, comma, I still felt shocked. Okay, that's it for you, Ray. Thank you. Back to Vidya. As far as I knew, they were all asleep because Vidya, contractions, please don't use contractions. Because there was no way any of them, as far as I knew, they were all asleep because I would not be allowed. I would not have been allowed. You can use that to stay up at this hour if they were awake. I want to sleep, but past tense, and you don't need this comma because both subjects are I. So uh past tense, I wanted wait. I wanted to sleep, but I wanted to sleep. You don't need this. Delete. I went into the kitchen to open the fridge and grabbed some Oreo. Oreo without S. The brand is only Oreo. I went into the kitchen to open the fridge and grab some Oreo and other snacks. Suddenly, comma, I heard a voice from behind me. Why are you still awake? And I responded with, what the? This is usually when we use uh, direct dialogue like this, we need to put the direct dialogue in the new paragraph. That's why usually when we only write one paragraph, we don't use direct dialogues. Suddenly I heard a voice from behind me asking why I was still awake. We use indirect ones. Suddenly I heard a voice from behind me asking why I was still awake. And I responded with a curse. Shit. You need to change this into indirect sentence, Vidya. Suddenly, I heard a voice from behind me asking why I was still awake. And I responded with, oh, no, question mark. And I responded with, up to you how you want to change that into an indirect sentence. With a curse, maybe, or with a shout, with a yell, with a, up to you. What the heck? Okay. This is double space. You need to delete one of them. Turns out it was my brother's voice and he was making fried noodles. As we were almost done making the noodles, we heard our mother's voice calling our names. Did not know where the sound was coming from. My brother and I glanced at each other. He said, That might not be. That might not have been our mother's voice. And my brother said, again, you need to change this into indirect sentence. Then my brother said, See, this is the tricky things about making a paragraph. When it's only a paragraph, the requirement only asks you to make a paragraph. You make sure that you don't make direct sentences. Typically, direct sentences starts on a new paragraph. He said that might not have been our mother's voice. Then the next morning, comma, I tried to ask my mother if the next morning, comma, I tried to ask my mother if she had however, she said she slept well and even had a good dream. My brother and I never talked about that voice again. I experienced a lot of eerie things in my house while staying up late. Honestly, I experienced a lot of eerie things in my house while staying up late. You may want to put honestly there at the beginning. Yep, honestly, comma, I experienced a lot of eerie things in my house while staying up late, but my grandfather said that our house was safe. Hey, what? No. Why did you use a new sentence? Undo, undo. Okay, but my grandfather said that our house was safe. Okay, Vidya is done. Let's go to Dio now. Okay, there you go. No more contractions. No more. Okay. Dio, please indent your paragraph. Dio, are you there? Okay, the story begins. You can start with the story began, past tense. Begin. Past tense. Past tense, Dio. When Nando and four of his friends, all names should be capitalized. Adele, comma, space, Sarah, capitalized, comma, space, Putra, capitalized, space, Diaz, space. Don't forget the space. You need space after comma. Dio, this is B. Dio, can you see your own writing? This is B. Okay. Now you don't need this what do you call that? I forgot. Oh well, you don't need this. The story began when Nando and four of his friends, Adel, Sarah, Putra, and Diaz, were doing research for a thesis. It's only one, right? Therefore, their thesis is fine. In one area in Jakarta. Okay. The story, you don't need the story again. You already said the story. Just go straight to the point. They stayed in a homestay. Past tense, stayed. Past tense only had 3 floors. Past tense was, they stayed in a homestay that only had 3 floors and the position was located front of the hallway on the 3rd floor of the homestay. They, past tense, chose you, chose. You, you, are you there? See, if I cannot see your face, I don't even know if you are there or not. No sound, no voice, no face. They chose this homestay because it was cheap. Don't you have the same suggestions as I do? I mean, I just have to click the line, the blue underline, and it gives me the suggestion. I don't know why you don't use those suggestions. They chose this homestay because it was cheap and near from the area. For research. They, past tense. Here, you can even check again. What's wrong with this? Near the area, you don't need from. There. They checked in at around 5 p.m. Suddenly, comma, a big black figure, curly hair, and dressed in black with a red face like Ndruwo appeared beside Sarah. There. Full stop, space. He was shocked, but the figure suddenly disappeared. Nando, because Putra is the last person, Nando, Diaz, and Putra. Remember, when you use a list like this, some things and the last person or the last thing should be with N. Nando, Diaz, and Putra decided not to take a break right away. Full stop. This is a new sentence. Full stop. Dio, full stop. What's going on? Full stop. This is a new sentence. There. They played cards and played the guitar. Instruments that is only one, like guitar, bass, piano, should be played the. So played the guitar. They played cards and played the guitar in the hotel yard. Adele also tried to remind them not to play and sing at Maghrib time. Maghrib is a name, so it should be capitalized. Maghrib time. Okay. But they did not heed what was said by Adele. Space. When they were playing cards, suddenly Sarah saw a figure like a kuntilanak approaching them. That was Paras. Who was Paras? Was there a Paras in the story? Ooh, you need to put a name there. That was when blah 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 was furious, because you said furious. Who was furious? Come on, Dio, you need to do it quickly. I'm losing my battery and we only have 8 more minutes. Okay, that was when. That was when. Dio, either you're having difficulties with your Google Docs or you're not listening to me. You need to change this part. That was when Sarah was furious with them. That was when Sarah was furious with them and asked Sarah change the pronoun her. They. Okay, this is double space. And asked her other friends to immediately pray and then rest. But when he wanted to go to the toilet, comma, Diaz saw the figure of Genderuwo and ran frantically towards the room. And so you don't need comma and he, but and ran frantically towards the room. Not long after that, suddenly someone knocked on the hotel room door. Full stop. But when who viewed from the hole? You need to put a name. But when blah 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 viewed from the hole. Okay, but when Diaz, no comma. You don't need a comma. Okay, more than one people. But when Diaz, Putra, and Nando viewed from the hole in the door, comma, No one was knocking on the door. The atmosphere became even more tense. You can say eerie to use the vocabulary instead of tense. We don't have tense in the vocabulary. So the atmosphere became even more eerie or eerier when the sound of knocking on the door repeated again. Space, Diaz, Putra, and Nando were all scared and decided to just go to sleep. The knock happened many times, but when Sarah called, there was no answer at all. Then Koma, then they opened the door and were shocked that no one was. You already said this at this part. No one was at the door. Then they opened the door and were shocked that no one, and they immediately. This is repeating yourself. The next day, comma, they told each other about last night and surprised each other because the next day they told each other about last night and surprised and the next day they told each other about last night and I want to say surprised, shocked perhaps, but not surprised. So shocked. Surprise is usually something good, something that you like, something that you want. The next day they told each other about last night and shocked each other. Each other. The next day they told each other about last night and got shocked. That's it. Because all experienced that an incident instead of everybody experienced that incident. After that, they decided to check out and move to another homestay. That's it. Thank you, Dio. It doesn't have to be that difficult to write a story using a narrative paragraph. So thank you all for joining the session. Do you have any questions? Vidya, Dio?
No.
No? Okay, I'm going to end the session. Thank you for writing the narration. Goodbye,
Yeah,
all.
Miss.
Have a great night with you.